Whenever we see the UFC championship fights where the winning fighter gets the champion title and a ton of prize money, we wonder how UFC is making money if they are giving ridiculous amounts of money to the winner, the runner-up, the commentator, and the staff members. Well, apparently the UFC makes money from a variety of sources. If you want to see them all, make sure you stick to the end.
The Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC, has transformed into a global phenomenon, attracting millions of fans from around the world. As the organization's success has been built on the back of the electrifying fights and iconic athletes, there is a thriving business model that drives the organization's success. There is no doubt that the UFC has been successful in cultivating a roster of fighters with the unique personalities and fascinating stories. Each fighter brings their own unique narrative to the octagon, from charismatic champions to underdog challengers, and each one contributes to the story. Fans are drawn into the promotion's rivalries and stories in a way that generates intrigue and emotional investment from them. The narrative in these fights transcend the fights themselves, making it easier for the audience to connect with the fighters and make the fights feel more significant and exciting to the audience. And these fans help the UFC to generate a huge sum of revenue. However, there are a number of revenue streams that contribute to the UFC's financial growth from different sources. From pay-per-view events to media rights, sponsorships, and merchandising, we will explore how the UFC strategically generates income and solidifies its position as the leading promoter of mixed martial arts. So, let's start with pay-per-view events, better known as the cornerstone of UFC's revenue. You see, pay-per-view, PPV, events make up the majority of the UFC's revenue source. In addition to generating significant revenue for the organizers, these highly anticipated fight cards offer fans the opportunity to watch matches live from the comfort of their homes. The fans have to pay a fee to be able to watch the PPV broadcasts, which are available either through cable and satellite providers or through online streaming services. Historically, it has been the blockbuster events that are headlined by high-profile fighters who have attracted the largest number of PPV viewers. Throughout the course of the UFC's history, charismatic fighters like Conor McGregor,
Ronda Rousey,
and many others have constantly drawn massive crowds and contributed greatly to the corporation's financial success. To maximize profits from PPV, the UFC curates fight cards carefully and promotes captivating matchups in order to maximize its PPV earnings. The UFC didn't actually reveal the latest data, but as far as we know, the residential PPV venues were approximately 87 million in 2006, 190 million in 2010, and 195 million in 2015. Then comes the media rights. The media rights deals that the UFC have secured have been pivotal in extending the reach and revenue of the business. Worldwide, the organization has formed partnerships with a number of major networks and streaming platforms. It was announced in 2018 that the UFC had signed an exclusive broadcasting agreement with ESPN, which gave the sports media giants exclusive rights to broadcast certain events in the UFC world. There is a comprehensive deal in place that entails the broadcasting of UFC events, the production of original programming, and access to the extensive library of UFC content. This partnership with ESPN provides the UFC with a significant amount of exposure and ensures that the UFC has a steady revenue stream in the future. On the international stage, the UFC has secured broadcasting deals with a variety of networks, including BT Sport in the United Kingdom, Globo in Brazil, as well as TSN in Canada. Having these partnerships allows the UFC to be able to tap into different markets, allowing them to reach MMA fans across the globe and increase revenue in the process. In fact, back in 2015 alone, UFC earned more than $400 million. So you can imagine how much they have been making from the media rights now. Anyways, now comes sponsorships. There is no doubt that the immersive popularity of the UFC and its global reach make it an attractive platform for sponsors. In recent years, the organization has forged successful partnerships with a diverse range of brands looking to gain access to its loyal fan base. In order for UFC sponsorship deals to be successful, The logos of sponsors are displayed prominently during events, on fighter uniforms, and even within the octagon itself. A sponsor can also benefit from exposure to the media by participating in promotional activities, press conferences, and media events before fights leading up to their events. And with the increased visibility that sponsors receive through this branding exposure, they have the opportunity to engage with UFC fans who are passionate about the sport. Many major brands from a wide variety of industries, such as apparel, energy drinks, automotive, and financial services, have aligned themselves with the UFC. Among the notable sponsors are Reebok, Modelo, Monster Energy, Harley-Davidson, Toyo Tires, and recently also with Prime Drinks, an energy drink brand of YouTuber Logan Paul. In fact, back in 2015, UFC made over $50 million from sponsors. So you can see it is a sport whose position is one of the leading sports properties in the world, and its ability to secure high-profile sponsors adds to its prestige. Moreover, UFC also makes money from their live event ticket sales. You see, we all know there are a number of live events that the UFC stages throughout the year, giving fans the opportunity to witness the action firsthand in a number of cities around the world. It is important to note that the revenue generated from ticket sales contributes significantly to the organization's overall income. The events organized by UFC range in size from smaller fight night cards held at a local arena to larger pay-per-view events held in prestigious venues. In order to ensure a successful event, the organization carefully selects host cities in accordance with fan demand, the potential market, and local regulations. There are a variety of ticket prices for events, depending on the size, location, and section in which you sit for the event. Typically, UFC events sell out quickly, allowing organizations to maximize revenue by utilizing the high demand for live events to maximize revenue. As per UFC reports, they made more than $60 million in PPV event tickets and other live event tickets combined in 2015. Moreover, UFC's digital presence is further bolstered by its subscription-based online streaming service, UFC Fight Pass, which enables fans to watch UFC fights at their convenience. Members have access to a comprehensive library of past fights, original content, and a selection of exclusive live events exclusively for subscribers. As well as providing fans with the convenience of watching fights on demand, UFC Fight Pass also makes it possible to access international events that may otherwise not be available through other platforms because they are not broadcast through UFC. As part of this service, you will also have access to exclusive behind-the-scenes footage, documentaries, and live broadcasts. It is important to note that subscription fees to UFC Fight Pass contribute to the organization's revenue stream, especially when it comes to fans who are keen to have access to the UFC content all year long. This particular service caters to a dedicated subscriber base, which complements the UFC's other revenue-generating activities. Then comes merchandising. You see, in order to leverage the brand, the UFC sells a wide range of merchandise that is related to its product line. There are a number of ways in which fans can get their hands on UFC-branded apparel, accessories, collectibles, and more in both live events as well as online. There is no doubt that merchandise plays a crucial role in monetizing passionate fan bases' loyalty to the team. Throughout the year, the UFC releases limited edition merchandise, collaborates with well-known clothing brands, and offers a variety of different products to satisfy the needs of a wide range of fans. In fact, the UFC merchandise is so popular that fans bought over $5 million worth of merchandise in 2015, and it is also because of the popularity of UFC athletes that contributes to the sale of merchandise. There is no doubt that fighter-specific apparel and memorabilia can increase revenue by capitalizing on the strong relationship fans have with their favorite fighters. Finally, licensing and partnerships. As part of its licensing activities, the UFC constantly licenses its brands for a variety of products, including video games, trading cards, action figures, and other items. With these licensing agreements, the UFC is able to generate additional revenue streams as well as expand its brand presence into new markets. There are a number of collaborations between the UFC and video game developers, such as the popular EA Sports UFC series, which enables fans to engage with the UFC digitally. Licensing the brand for trading cards and action figures allows the brand to cater to collectors and fans who enjoy acquiring physical representations of the brand. Moreover, the UFC forms strategic partnerships with other companies to develop co-branded products and promotions with other brands. For example, they have collaborated with sports apparel companies like Reebok to produce UFC-themed merchandise, which ultimately helps them to make a good amount of revenue. Overall, the UFC's success as a business is a direct result of the multifaceted approach to revenue generation that has played a significant role in its success. There are many ways in which the UFC makes revenue, including pay-per-view events, media rights agreements, sponsorships, and many more to build a strong financial ecosystem, making it easy for them to expand into new markets. With the company's continued global expansion and the possibility of capturing new markets, the organization's revenue streams are set to grow in the near future, taking advantage of the global appeal of mixed martial arts and investing in innovative business strategy. The UFC continues to remain a trailblazer when it comes to combat sports by capitalizing on the global appeal of MMA.
Anyway, that's it for today's video. We hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up, and for more such videos like this, punch that red subscribe button and don't forget to jab on that bell icon. We'll catch you guys in another amazing video. Until then, peace.